Welcome, have a nice day. Today is Wednesday, 3rd of May 2023. This day, celebrated as Star Wars Day, is an informal commemorative day observed annually on May 4 to celebrate the Star Wars media franchise created by founder, former chairman, and CEO of Lucasfilm, George Lucas. So, starting the newspaper analysis with the newspaper The Hindu states that India criticized USCIRF reports, call it misrepresentation of facts. India on May 2nd categorically rejected as biased and motivated a report by the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom (USCSIRF) that alleged several violations of religious freedom in the country. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Shankar, spokesperson Arindam Bagchi, has said the Commission continues to regulate such comments, and India rejects the misrepresentation of facts, which only serves to discredit USCIRF itself. Arindam Bagchi, spokesperson of Ministry of External Affairs. Sorry about I say directly External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Shankar. So the Hindu newspaper also states that man detained after a shotgun cartridges are thrown into Buckingham Palace grounds. Days ahead of King Charles May 6 coronation, Buckingham Palace was temporarily cordoned off after a man approached the palace and illegally threw objects thought to be shotgun cartridges into the palace ground. The arrest comes days ahead of King Charles May 6 coronation. Police at the scene outside Buckingham Palace after a man was arrested and a subsequent controlled explosion was carried out on May 2nd, 2023 in London. The Hindu newspaper also states that Bilkis Bano case convicts playing for time Supreme Court Judge K.M. Joseph. Supreme Court Judge Justice K.M. Joseph said that it was more than obvious that the man released early from life imprisonment for gang raping Bilkis Bano and murdering her family during the 2002 Gujarat riots were raising a maze of procedural objection in successive court hearing to avoid his bench. Justice Joseph noted that the time was running out for him with his retirement now just days away. The Bilkis Bano case convicts come out of the Godhra sub-jail in Godhra on August 15, 2022 after the Gujarat government allowed their release under its remission policy. Going towards the Indian Express newspaper states that in most IITs across India, SCST cells barely have any activity or funds. The data are shared by the APPSC show that of the 19 IITs that have SCST cells, only 12 have web pages. At IIT Guwahati, while the SCST cell has no web page, it is the only IIT where the cell has not only conducted events but has also been allocated funds and a separate room to function. Now, the APPSC plans to present this data to the National Commission of Scheduled Tribes, where they have an impending hearing. Indian Express also states that biological father's name can be deleted from passport of child in certain circumstances. Delhi High Court says the court noted that the Passport Manual 2022 and the office memorandum issued by the Ministry of External Affairs in February 2022 recognize that the passports can be issued under varying circumstances without the name of the father. The High Court was hearing the plea of a single mother and her child seeking deletion of the name of biological father from the passport of the latter. Indian Express also states that the India the India way is gaining increasing traction at the United Nations. It has not been forgotten at the United Nations that India was indeed the first port of call for many member states of the global south for COVID vaccines. And this moment was not monetized, which is a reflection of India's commitment of humanity. And the first ever historic visit of the Counter-Terrorism Committee, comprising all 50 members of the Security Council in India, to India in October 2022, coinciding with the 14th July anniversary of 2611, along with the Delhi Declaration, allowed us and the international community to refocus as well as rededicate ourselves to the fight. Going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that 25 crime lords, 160 gangs, why Delhi jails are a security nightmare. With 25 of Delhi's top crime lords housed inside different jails in 3 different jails in Delhi, while the total number of inmates tops 20,000 against a holding capacity of 10,000, the orders for the security personnel are staggering. Relatives of Tilu Tajpuria, a jailed gangster and an accused in the 2021 Rohini court shootout case outside the mortuary of Deen Dayal Udhaya Hospital in New Delhi Tuesday. Hindustan Times also states that a tiger drinks water from the middle of the road, halts traffic watch. Tiger drinks water from the middle of the road. Here is a complete picture. Some breaking, including India sees slightly higher cases with 3,720 infections, active caseload at 40,177. Welcome to the HindustanTimes.com updates platform, where you can find the breaking news from the India and across the world. Find the first updates about the latest news. So here is the number: 40,177 cases. Going towards the economy of the country, rupee rises 12 paise to 81.75 against the United States dollar. The rupee gained 12 paise to 81.75 against the United States dollar in early trade on Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023, ranking the weakness of the American currency in the overseas market. Forex traders said significant foreign fund inflows and crude oil prices below United States dollar 80 a barrel also supported the local unit. University of Southampton explores education opportunities in India with the NEP framework. As a top of 100 research intensive Russell Group University, the University of Southampton would nurture the next generation citizen with an aim to build an inclusive world. Professor Sabu S. Padamas, Associate Dean and Founding Director, University of Southampton, India Center. De-dollarization, the race to attain the status of global reserve currency. Going towards the world news, including suspected gunman caught after 5 dead in Texas mass shooting. Ahead of King Charles' coronation, man arrested outside Buckingham Palace with a suspected weapon. Rockets fired from the Gaza after Palestinian hunger striker dies in Israeli custody. Uganda parliament passes mostly unchanged version of anti-LGBTQ bill. Japan, South Korea revive stalled economic talks as global risks rise. Sardinians fleeing clashes flood Port City borders with Egypt. Going towards the science and technology, including the most important one, Conference of Party 28 chair urges a tripling of renewables capacity by 2030. Sultan Al Jaber, the president of the year's United Nations climate talks hosted by the United Arab Emirates on May 2nd, called the participants to drastically ramp up their use of renewable energy. At the same time, Sultan Al Jaber did not call for a complete end to the use of fossil fuels. Conference of Party 28 United Arab Emirates President designate Sultan Al Jaber speaks at the Petersburg Climate Dialogue, Climate Dialogue, a conference that focuses on laying the groundwork for the Conference of Party 28 Climate Change Conference in the United Arab Emirates on the May 2nd, 2023. India cough syrup, a mystery middleman may be new clue. An unnamed middleman at Mumbai provided a crucial raw material used in India-made cough syrups that have been linked to the deaths of more than 70 children in Gambia. A chemical trader involved in the supply chain told Reuters. The syrups made by Indian manufacturer Maiden Pharmaceuticals Limited contained lethal toxins, ethylene glycol and diethylene glycol used in a car brake fluid. An unnamed middleman in the Mumbai provided a crucial raw material used in Indian-made cough syrups that have been linked to the death of more than 70 children in Gambia. Last, environmental groups sue United States over SpaceX launch license for Texas. Conversation groups used the Federal Aviation Administration on Monday, challenging its approval of expanded rocket launch operations by Elon Musk's SpaceX next to the National Wildlife Refuge in South Texas without requiring greater environmental study. The shattering force of the launch hurled chunks of reinforced concrete and metal sharpened thousands of feet from the site. Debris flies from the direction of the launch pad at SpaceX's Starship launched from the Star Base in Boca Chica, Texas, Thursday, April 20, 2023. Take action against the hoardings and posters promoting online betting and gambling, Center tells states. After central advisories to media last year, ads for the betting and gambling apps have been largely covered in the newspapers, television channels, and streaming platforms. At last, there's a famous quotation by Sir Muhammad Iqbal, whose birth anniversary is November 1877 up to the 21 April 1938, was a South Asian Muslim writer, philosopher, scholar, and a politician whose poetry in Urdu language is considered among the greatest of the 20th century, and whose vision of the cultural and political ideal for the Muslims of the British Raj was to animate the impulse of Pakistan. He is commonly referred to by the honorific Allama, Romanized, is very knowing, most learned. Mr. Allama Iqbal, we can say Dr. Allama Iqbal says a famous quotation. He says that it is true that we are made of dust and the world is also made of dust, but the dust has motes rising. Okay, thank you.